Catastrophic floods in central Texas have now claimed at least 111 lives. Another 172 people remain missing as rescue teams continue searching devastated areas. The flooding began on July 4th when intense rainfall overwhelmed riverbanks and dams. Water levels rose by nearly 30 feet in less than 1 hour near Hunt, Texas. Entire neighborhoods were swept away, including summer camps and highway bridges. At least 20 children are missing from a single camp caught in the flood. Governor Greg Abbott called it the deadliest inland flood in over a century. President Trump met with Senator Ted Cruz to review the disaster response. He promised full federal support and confirmed FEMA funding has been released. Aid groups, volunteers, and even Mexican response teams are assisting local efforts. Thousands of Texans are in shelters across multiple counties. More storms are forecast for the coming days, and flood warnings remain active. President Trump announced a 25% tariff on imports from Japan and South Korea beginning August 1st. He also issued formal warnings to 14 other nations about potential tariffs unless trade agreements are renegotiated. The Japanese yen dropped sharply while the South Korean one made slight gains. Markets across Asia showed mixed reactions as talks continued behind closed doors. Trump also revealed plans for a 50% tariff on copper to support domestic mining. The U.S. Treasury Department estimated tariff revenue could reach $300 billion by the end of the year. Wall Street reacted cautiously with small losses across major indexes. The dollar gained strength while oil prices rose and gold declined slightly. At the BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro, world leaders condemned unilateral tariffs and called for cooperative trade. China, India, Russia, Brazil, and others emphasized regional alliances and currency independence. They proposed new investment strategies focused on Africa and infrastructure development. President Macron of France arrived in the United Kingdom for a state visit. He addressed Parliament, encouraging Europe to rely less on the United States and China. Macron and British officials agreed to expand cultural exchanges and defense cooperation. In Ukraine, President Trump spoke with President Zelensky to confirm arms shipments would resume soon. Ukraine officially withdrew from the international treaty banning landmines. Military officials said the move was necessary due to battlefield demands. Fighting continued in multiple eastern regions, including near Kharkiv. Both Ukrainian and Russian forces reported casualties, but no territorial changes. Houthi rebels in Yemen targeted a commercial ship in the Red Sea. The crew abandoned ship, but no deaths were reported. Maritime security levels remain high across the region. Oil prices jumped again as investors assessed increased risk and declining U.S. production forecasts. In France and Spain, wildfires intensified under severe heat waves. Thousands have been evacuated from towns and rural areas. Flights were canceled and highways closed due to advancing fire lines. Tourist areas near Marseille and Barcelona were heavily affected. Governments issued red alerts and requested international firefighting support. In China, over 200 schoolchildren were hospitalized with lead poisoning. Authorities linked the contamination to improperly stored food at school facilities. Separately, monsoon floods in western China destroyed a major bridge and left 20 people missing. Emergency services are still searching riverbanks near the Tibet-Nepal border. India reported an explosion at a fireworks factory that killed at least 10 people. The factory was operating without a proper safety license. In another region of India, 5 members of a family were killed in mob violence after being accused of witchcraft. Police arrested 7 people connected to the attacks. In Russia, a military drone crashed into a home during a training flight. No one was injured, and investigators are reviewing technical failures. Russian officials denied rumors of foreign interference in the incident. In East Africa, protests in Kenya turned deadly after police used live ammunition on demonstrators. 2 people were killed, and several others were hospitalized. Protests were sparked by rising fuel prices and government corruption allegations. Security forces were deployed across Nairobi and other major cities. In Indonesia, a volcanic eruption near Bali disrupted flights and forced evacuations. Ash clouds grounded dozens of planes and officials are monitoring lava activity. The volcano last erupted 4 years ago and remains under alert level 2. In the United Kingdom, 3 men were convicted of arson linked to extremist activities. Authorities confirmed the men had connections to foreign paramilitary groups. In the United States, the Justice Department reversed its plan to release classified FBI files. The reversal came after internal objections and concerns over legal risks. Officials have not confirmed when or if the files will be made public. New security screening procedures at U.S. airports allow travelers to keep their shoes on during checks. The change is part of a broader effort to speed up boarding and reduce wait times. TSA says the update is supported by new scanning technology at major airports. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu formally nominated President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. The nomination came after recent diplomatic efforts to secure a ceasefire in Gaza. No ceasefire has yet been confirmed, but talks are ongoing with Egyptian mediation. Asian financial markets fluctuated throughout the day as investors processed tariff news. The tech sector led declines, while energy stocks rose. The S&P 500 and Dow Jones both closed slightly lower. Amazon launched its annual Prime Day with record sales volume expected. Retail analysts estimate nearly $24 billion in global transactions within 48 hours. The sales event includes electronics, fashion, and home appliances at major discounts. Tesla stock regained some ground after dropping last week following Elon Musk's political announcement. Investors remain cautious as the New America Party plans to field congressional candidates. Meta confirmed it hired a former Apple executive to lead its new AI superintelligence division. The move signals increased competition between big tech firms over advanced artificial intelligence tools. Bitcoin prices remain stable above $109,000 per coin. Treasury bond yields hovered above 4.4% as markets await credit data. Oil and gold prices both declined slightly after early gains. The U.S. dollar maintained strength as capital flowed into American markets. That is your world news recap for July the 8th. Thanks for watching the video to the end.